You see, let me teach you something about the human mind. You know my background is in psychology. I taught it for years. I've been a researcher for years in human development and how the mind functions. And let me tell you something. There might be 8, 10, 12,000 people in this room. I don't even know how many. But I'm going to tell you this. How many people do you see up here? You see one. Well, let me tell you what I know that you're going to know when I'm finished. No two people in this room are going to hear the same thing from me. Isn't that interesting? There's a huge lesson to be learned by that observation. If that is true, and I know that it is, and I'll explain to you why, because each one of us go through life with what I call perceptional filters. There are our parents, our belief systems, our religion, our ethnicity, our race, you name it. These are all out in front of every single one of us. Our education, who influenced us? What are we basically made of? What kind of character do we have? Put these filters in front of you right now. They are you. And they're the only things that you can perceive the present moment through. Nobody gets past the filters. So in nanoseconds, all of that works in nanoseconds to tell you what you're seeing and what you're hearing. Now, given that that's true, who is creating me or you? Are you getting this? You are making me mean to you what your perceptions allow. Whether you laugh at it, whether you jump up and down, whether you jump forward, means nothing. Because that's only a beginning, isn't it? The only thing you want to observe is what you see with your eyes, not what you hear with your ears. This is so simple. You can spare yourself a lot of emotional anguish wishing that people were going to do what you're observing they're not going to do. Do you hear me? The past is only a form of recollection in the memory. It is not real. It is what you pull forward, but here's what happens. All too many people keep reliving yesterday's mistakes, yesterday's hurts, yesterday's anguish, and their force, the life force they have, is leaning back like a stranglehold. Or they're standing on their tiptoes with great anxiety, worrying about the future. So now you're like this, and in the middle is now. In the middle is the moment of life, and it's the only moment you've ever had. And if you're here 5 minutes from now, all you've got is another now. When do we make a difference? When do we get started? When do we start studying? When do we change? If you keep waiting, it won't happen. You got to plant your flag. You don't limp up to nobody. You don't walk up and say, please look at my opportunity. The world is suffering out there, yes or no? We need to turn off that TV that's nothing but a depressive machine to your spirit and your soul, and offer people hope and life for their futures. That's our job. 70-some million baby boomers hitting the system. Ho, ho, ho. If you're not taking care of you and your family, you're not thinking.